Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the West Coast, where today we are playing about with the class Lexion 750. Yes, we have swapped out the Combine for something a bit newer, a tiny bit bigger. The grain tank is, I think 2,000 litres bigger than this, and the header is half a metre bigger. So we have upgraded to something a bit bigger. I did do some fiddling with it. Because I kept forgetting to change the number plate. Oh, for the love of... I kept forgetting to change the number plate in the New Holland. And then I discovered this thing has one as well. It doesn't have one on the front though, so I'll just ignore the back one. We are in field... Literally a field. What field is this? Field 15. I was going to say 15. Today, and we are harvesting canola. We got the JCB 4000 from the wonderful Pedro chaps on the Smith Supercube trailer. They make quite a nice... they look quite good together, I must admit. They fit quite well. And yeah, we're going to do this manually. I know that I've had Courseplay do harvesting in the past. I'm going to do this all manually today, just because I can. And because I can't be bothered trusting Courseplay. I'll be honest, Courseplay is hilariously bad at times. And yeah, we're already a quarter of the way full in terms of how good the tank is being. I hope I bought the right Lexion. This is a class Lexion 750. It's from the Lexion Stage 4 pack. Lexion 700 Stage 4 pack. There's a second one doing the rounds that is just a 770 or a 780. This one has a wide range of Lexions, and I think it's slightly better because it doesn't have weird stripes and stuff on the Lexions. The 780 I had weird stripes and stuff, and I'm like, no, that's not very nice. I don't like it. That's why I very rarely used it. The reason that I'm using this class is, I'll be honest, I like class harvesters. I like Lexions. I like the colour scheme, the way they're painted and the design. Do I need another reason? I get the feeling somebody's going to complain that I'm somehow doing this wrong. Pipes on this side, yo. Seeing as there was complaints in my stream the other day about me harvesting wrong for literally no reason whatsoever. And I was doing silage. I don't quite know why. I think some people just want to find something to complain about, and do you know what? That's fine too. So I take it that you guys are fans of the new toys that I have, the Massey, the JCB. That honestly, the JCB is my favorite of the new toys in terms of vehicles, and of course the Lely Forage Harvester, which I can't help but get the feeling there were more than a few people shocked that I actually had it. And that entertained me, I would admit. I like when I can surprise people with new things that I've managed to get my hands on legitimately. Hopefully it's going to be out for you guys soon, because that thing is genuinely amazing, and even if it's not, it is worth the wait. It is worth waiting for a bit longer for it, because it's seriously good. Granted, it functions, which means that there are going to be some people who are like, oh, well, it functions, that's all I care about. It functions well. The functions that it does have, I like. And obviously, I am a big fan of the trailed forage harvesters. I can see that one, the Lely, being used across FSUK by the amazing number of grass silage crews there are, and people who have a fascination with grass silage, which you know what, I can't blame them. Obviously, I've got field 17 primed for grass silage. That'll be happening relatively soon. I just want to break up the silage monotony, because I know I've been doing a lot of mowing, a lot of silage of late. I want to break that up with some harvesting, and we'll have a few videos of different harvests. We got a few different crops planted here. Obviously, we got canola. I haven't accidentally planted soybeans everywhere this time. I don't think I've even planted soybeans in one field, have I? Soybeans are what colour? The greeny colour. I haven't even planted soybeans this time. So we've got 3 fields of canola, 3 fields of wheat, and 3 fields of barley. And 1 field of grass. And the plan is... I didn't even realise that I'd accidentally managed to get everything to be so equal. The plan is that we're going to not buy any more fields. Now comes the time where we start expanding our equipment sizes. Up to quad tracks. That kind of size will be their maximum. I might get a big Bud 450. But something as large as a quad track, I think, would fit on this map. Especially with the number of fields we now have, and then if we can get, you know, the quad track and a large seeder and a large cultivator, then we can consider moving into new fields again. But the plan for now is to just kind of save up money, actually sell some pigs. So that is going to be a new piece of equipment we get, is an animal trailer, because we have, last time I checked, 75 pigs. I've fast forwarded time since then. So we are now at, it's actually the harvest is slightly smaller than I anticipated. We are now at 82 pigs, which is many pigs. Let's get over to the JCB, seeing as the harvest was full. I actually thought it was a 13,500 litre capacity. I was wrong, 11,000. That's kind of fine though. This trailer can only hold 20,000, so we're going to be going over, slightly over half full. Be about, what, 55%? Full of canola. While that's happening, I just want to really quickly check something over here. We do have the Challenger. The Challenger I might get rid of. The 4,000 or the 3,000 and the 8,000 fast tracks are probably going to stay. We do have the 8,000 over the BGA here, which, by the way, is now, come on, a bit more full of grass, and fully fermented. So I'm going to be getting something over there quite soon to deal with that. The harvester is now empty. The plan is to get something over to the BGA relatively soon, but not immediately. Probably during a stream to sell off the silage. I'll record a course for that because it'll be easiest. And hope that Courseplay can figure out how to deal with the bunker. I did find out that English, Dave, do you speak it? The sell point doesn't work as I thought it did, and as you would kind of logically expect it to. I'm hoping to figure out a way to fix that. I think Pedro's on the case trying to figure out what's gone wrong there. But it doesn't accept a trailer load of stuff. Now, I have heard that to empty trailer loads, you actually have to go to the sell point, the bog standard sell point at the BGA. If that's the case, then I'm going to have a look at what the silage multiplier is at the BGA and just copy the multiplier over to the sell point so that the price of silage is consistent everywhere. Because otherwise it would be kind of silly. Do you know what? Because this down here is a relatively straight line, let's just spin the harvester around here. You can see it's got a, is that a 1,300 litre tank or 1,120, or quite a large fuel tank. Put the pipe away again. We don't need this for a little while. And yeah, I've got the distributor for the chaff on. There's a radial distributor as well. I've just got the standard linear one on because I think it looks better. Personal opinion, I guess. I know the radial one kind of spins, but I do actually like the chaff coming out in straight lines. That's what I've seen more of in on YouTube in videos. Most of the harvests around here don't cut chaff. I'll be honest. They don't cut crops that give off chaff. Most of the harvests around me are of wheat, barley, oats, stuff that you can get straw out of. Straw's collected, straw's baled, straw's sold to animal farms. If it's not a mixed arable and livestock venture. Most of the farms tend to be primarily livestock with some arable just to get the straw, because that's the cheapest way of getting straw, because you get paid for those grains. As I take a bit of a drink. But that is the cheapest way of getting straw in real life. I know some people will just buy it. Some people will, there are contracting teams that will go around after other contracting teams that have cut crops, and they'll take the straw out of the field. Because the farmer that had the crops doesn't care about the straw. Doesn't care whether it's cut up into chaff or just laid out on the ground to be baled up. And those contracting teams will likely sell the straw by themselves, that doesn't make sense. No, that probably wouldn't be a thing. I think I just invented something that doesn't exist because it doesn't make financial sense for the farmer. Because surely the farmer would either want chaff to fertilize the ground, because it does, or he'd want the profit from the bales. Because that'd make more sense, because you can get a bit more money out of your crop that way. That, by the way, is why I keep making bales. Is just it's what makes sense to me. Is like, you've got this crop, you're selling the grain. Well, why not sell the offshoots of the grain, which is the bales? One thing I do need to do in the very, very near future is actually feed the cows, which is going to be a probably quite drawn out process, because there's not much silage up with the cows. I do actually need to cut silage for them fairly soon. Although there are quite a few silage bales, which I might just throw into the silage pit over there and be done with them like that. And use them for silage, because I forgot to move the bales when I made them. I think the plan for them was to sell them, but now I've kind of changed the plan to being, hey, wouldn't it make more sense to just make silage bales and, feed the cows silage that way? Because they're easier to store, and I don't feel the need to throw them into a shed. So we're at 69% on the second harvester load. So yeah, going back to the cows, I think moving forward, I did do pit silage before. I think I'll just move on to bale silage, and I'm keeping an eye on the time as well right now, because it is 4:24 p.m. yesterday. I am due to stream in 35 minutes, and I actually want to make myself a cup of tea, or I'll probably make tea today. A cup of tea before I stream, so I'm keeping an eye on the time just to make sure that I don't screw up and, start the stream late like I've got a habit of doing by mistake. Hopefully it was a good stream. I know what map I'll be streaming or have streamed. It'll have been a Missouri stream. And speaking right now, I plan on putting the stream archive live if it's a good stream. Otherwise, meh. I'm being honest, at least. Yeah, I don't know 100% what I'm gonna do. With regards to stream archives. But that's kind of what the plan is right now, but subject to change. Hope you didn't mind me putting up a stream archive yesterday. Simple fact of the matter is I was super tired last night. I'm not a morning person, and if I wake up in the morning, then I usually end up being like half awake all day. And I woke up at 6:30 yesterday morning, so, or not yesterday morning, but what day is today? Thursday, Wednesday morning. And yeah, that didn't end well for me because I just ended up being tired all day and eating excessive amounts of caffeine. So I'll just do this the lazy way, well, the lazy cart driver's way, and bring the combine to the cart. What I might do, and this is kind of a weird off-the-wall thing, is I might get the IT runner trailer and get a few of the hang on, I can show you guys if I have this switched on. Do I have it switched on? I do not have it activated at the moment. Either that or I've uninstalled it. Which is a distinct possibility, I'll be honest. The idea I have is to get the IT runner trailer and get a few of the large grain carts and just leave them kind of dotted around fields, like maybe 2 per field, during the harvest, so that I can just bring the harvester over to, we'll say, one of them and then the other. Or I know there is somewhere an overloader for the IT runner, which would be kind of interesting to use. A grain overloader. So I could use that kind of as a nurse trailer. How much grain do we have in stock, in storage, actually? 27,000 litres of barley, 30,000 litres of wheat, and this is going to be 20-something thousand litres of... 20,000 litres almost exactly of canola. Okay. I don't actually have an issue with having that much crop in storage. It just means that it's money that when there's a great demand, I can sell stuff off and make extra money. Or if I desperately need money, I can sell some crops off and just be like, hey, look at all the money I now have. So let's get this back over to the combine, which does still need to be emptied a small bit. Does it matter too much? No, in fact. Let's leave the tractor there and just get back into the combine itself. It's not going to get in the way, is it? I hope it doesn't get in the way. So we got, what, about half this field done? Slightly more now? I do like the fact that this combine gives off a big blast of smoke when it when you switch it on, because that's what it would do in reality. Is like, you watch any videos of combines starting up, especially Lexions, and you'll hear the engine, you know, you will hear the big rev as the black smoke billows out, because it's putting the engine under a lot of stress and a lot of pressure, and then it'll kind of de-rev itself, or drop the revs down, because hey, the header's now moving and all the hydraulics are stable. Now, one thing that I've done to this map is I've turned off collisions on the telegraph poles or the telephone poles, just to allow for easier harvests and easier use of course play. And it's primarily course play that I did it for. And I'm sure somebody out there is going to say, Dave, you're lazy, you're cheating, and that somebody's probably going to be called Fahy. Simple fact of the matter is, it's a lot easier to use courseplay to do a lot of the field work, while I do stuff that I find more entertaining and more interesting. Like, we'll say, once I've got this field done, I can actually go and harvest other fields while I've got the Challenger cultivating this one. And I can have the Challenger kind of running a field behind at all times, so the harvest can get done, and then the cultivating immediately afterwards, and then I can bring in, we'll say, the Fent or something with the seeder and get the fields seeded and just fix it up afterwards. You you know, I can cut a lot of the workload that I would have had otherwise off, and just worry about, okay, what actually needs to be done 100% today. What can I not? What can I get away with not doing, effectively? And the answer is most things. If I really wanted to, I could have everything on Courseplay and just sit managing the farm and talking to you guys, but I don't like doing that. I like doing work manually. There was a period in FS13, which was never on the channel, but back in FS13, there was a map or two where I literally had Courseplay doing everything, and I was just kind of sat there waiting for Courseplay to finish, and it was incredibly boring. Mr. Simulate has just tagged me on Twitter. Of course I've got to reply now, so professional YouTuber. There we go. So, yeah, follow me on Twitter, by the way. I really do this in videos. I really should do it a bit more. I'm gonna do a bit of self-promotion because I'm shameless like that. So, in terms of social media, because I get this question a reasonable amount, I have Twitter, at Rainbow_Dave. I have Instagram, at RainbowDave Gaming. I have a Twitch channel, which I will stream to occasionally, although it's very much separate from YouTube, and I don't run under the same rule set, and don't expect me to play Farm Sim, because Twitch is my fun place, and that is twitch.tv/RainbowDave. I also have a Facebook fan page, which basically just is a copy of my Twitter timeline. And that is facebook.com/RainbowDave, or I think it's RainbowDave Gaming. I can't quite remember. But if you search RainbowDave on Facebook, you'll see the logo. That's the one. And of course, there is a Steam group as well. That is called RainbowDave Gaming as well. And what else do I have in terms of social media and stuff? I think that's it. But yeah, if you want to follow me everywhere, then you can. There's also, obviously you can like sponsor the channel here for, is it $5 a month? I do have a sub button on Twitch, and that's also $5 a month. Although I think there's like tiered subscription things you can do on Twitch, which are a bit weird, and I don't know if I like them. But I also have a Patreon if you want to pledge on that and become a Patreon, like several people are. I can't remember any names right now off the top of my head, and I apologize to my Patreons. By the way, I very rarely do this. Simulate yesterday put up a video of cinematic farm sim, and it's one of the very rare videos of farm sim that I've actually watched. I thoroughly encourage you to do the same. Even if you like don't like Sim or don't like his voice or whatever, I'm not gonna judge you for it. You know, he's a friend of mine. Nah. But that video I think is amazing. I will be I've watched it. There's a few shots that I really enjoyed. I think I could do better with. But I think okay, I'm gonna have to try and talk this through, because some people just start shouting as soon as I say this, you're copying Simulate. I am going to, next week, try and get a week or two ahead on videos. So I'll be recording like a madman next week, because I can. After that, that'll allow me to have a very, very large buffer in terms of time. And if I can if I can keep ahead by a week or two, which, yes, that does sound questionable in terms of how the streams will work, but I'll figure that out in time. If I can stay ahead, that means I can dedicate a bit more time to editing instead of panicking about, oh, what video do I need to record today? And that means I can put out more rounded videos. Which means that I can play around with time lapses and cinematic segments. I won't do a full cinematic video unless there's a good reason. For example, just as an example here, I finish my map and it's time to do a trailer. That'll obviously be a cinematic video on its own, and that's kind of map promotion. It's a generally done thing. But I am genuinely thinking about doing some cinematic segments in videos, because honestly it looks cool. And if it looks cool, then I'm more tempted to do it. I won't make a carbon copy of Sim's video though, and I won't ever like just flat out copy him. I'll take the inspiration from his video, which, you know, is, in my mind at least, is perfectly fine to say, oh, that was a really good video, I like the ideas used there. I'm going to take those ideas, put my spin on it, and pop them into the middle of a different video, because they, you know, they'll fit like that. Especially if, you know, I actually have the time to do it, which I can make time, especially if I can keep to the sleeping pattern I've had lately, which has me up at an actual human hour. Granted, I stayed in bed for like 5 hours after I woke up today, but hey, I was awake at a human hour. But if I can keep that up, then I can actually put more time into doing videos, because right now I've kind of got, we'll say, an hour a night to do videos, which isn't very good. Or the way that I was sleeping, I had like an hour a night. If I can get up a lot earlier, that means I can have several hours in the morning to do videos, which means I can record a video for 3 hours every day. Which means I can go back to, those of you who've been around for a while will know what I mean here, the Ventonwin FS15 style of video, where it's a bit more polished. And I was quite clearly having a lot more fun with that kind of video. We'll do this field next, but not in this video, because it is time to finish. I'm just kind of moving things around while I talk. It is time to go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the potentially getting extremely far ahead on videos idea, because I know there's a lot of potential pitfalls there. And I also know that it would be a case of, you know, like, I can't talk about stuff that's been happening recently in Farm Sim. I'd have to have everything be kind of within the world of the video and kind of be a bit more, I guess, more like Daggerwin, because he doesn't really acknowledge much going on outside of his videos. You know, like Sim, I guess. Whereas I'm more casual at the moment. But it's a style that I prefer, I'll be honest. Because it gives me time to think when I'm, we'll say, recording a time-lapse or a cinematic segment or something like that. But that is going to do it for today. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed. I will leave you by saying, I've been RainbowDave, you've been watching Farming Simulator 17 on the West Coast. I'll be back on Monday with videos. I'll be streaming all weekend. Not literally all weekend, but I'll be streaming this weekend. Probably Farm Sim, maybe some Gold Rush, depends on what goes on there. I actually need to check my Steam to make sure of some things. But until next time, stay safe. And goodbye.